John from California, Loose Cannon Lopez writes in, throughout your WrestleMania weekends over the years, who has been your best and worst experience, or what, rather, has been your best and worst experience meeting a wrestler? I can't say I've had any real bad experiences. Honky Tonk Man blew me off at WrestleCon last year when I was filming interviews for Fight TV, and he wouldn't even talk to us unless we paid him, which I wasn't about to do. You can go screw right off with that. So that, I guess, was the closest thing to like a bad experience that I had. Other than that, it's pretty much all been positive. I mean, I tracked down Bob Holly this year to thank him for all the nice messages he sent me. It was cool to finally meet him face to face, and he couldn't be nicer. Being able to sit down and do a sit-down interview on camera with Mean Gene Okerlund is one of the great thrills of all the WrestleMania weekends that I've had. That was a highlight for me. Meeting Bobby Heenan was cool. Back in Miami, that was the first Mania I ever went to. They were doing Wrestle Reunion. That was the last one, actually, and then WrestleCon became a thing. And I got to meet Bobby, and I was wearing the shirt that said, "That's not fair to Flair," and yeah, he couldn't really speak, but he saw the shirt, and he was like pointing at it and like telling his wife, "Hey, take a look at this shirt." So that was cool. All the Radio Row interviews we got to do in Miami for WrestleMania. Back in Miami, I got to talk to Daniel Bryan and the Horsemen. I mean, to sit at the same table with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, to get them at the table together and to be able to interview them was surreal. And, interacting with The Rock during that WrestleMania 28 press conference before the show. Like, I've been very fortunate to have had a lot of really cool experiences over my weekends at WrestleMania. It's one of the reasons why I go. It's like, it doesn't even matter what the WrestleMania card is. People say to me, well, how come you go to WrestleMania? This year's card is shit, or, the TV lately has been so bad. It's like, dude, I don't go because the card is great or the card is shit. I go because it's first of all, for me, it's a getaway from New York, which is why I'm not thrilled about next year. But it's a way for me to get away on a real vacation and go somewhere. In some cases, I've never been. I was never to New Orleans before I went to Mania 30. I was never in Dallas before WrestleMania 32. I'd never been to California before. I'd been as far west as Portland and Vegas. But believe it or not, I had never been to California before until I went to Mania 31. So I do it for that reason, and it's a cool, time to hang out with friends. I get to meet a lot of you guys. I do my own event, usually. And so I get to meet a bunch of my listeners and some other podcasters and people, and it's just a really fun time. So I really can't say any bad things. I've had a lot of really cool Mania weekend experiences. Hopefully we'll keep it going in New York next year.